Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do our monthly setup for May in our bullet journal, and we're going to run through the supplies first. I'm going to use a mechanical pencil. We're doing a bit of a theme this month, so I want to sketch out some of my little doodles that are related to the theme. So yeah, the pencil, and then I have this Pigma Micron pen, which is great for details and outlining. I believe this is the 02 size nib. And then I have my soft and hard tip Tombow Fudo Suki pens. The soft tip is my favorite. I just ordered another one of those, and I recommend that for everyone beginning brush lettering. And then I have a white gel pen, and then I'm going to be doing two colors, green and pink, and I wanted to do 2 shades of each color. So I'm using 3 of the Arteza watercolor real brush pens, and then I'm using 1 Tombow dual brush pen, and I'm just using the brush side of that marker. So yeah, I just wanted some variation in the color, so I went for these 4. All of the supplies will be listed down below as usual with links, so you can check them out if you would like. But moving on to the good stuff, we're going to start with our title as usual. And for the writing of May, I wanted to space out the 3 letters so that it's more centered on the page and just to fill up the page a little bit more. So I'm using 2 of the Arteza green brush pens, and I'm just darkening the bottoms of each of the letters just because I like that gradient in the letters. I think it just makes it stand out a little bit more, and then I'll go in and add some highlights and shadows. But I'm using the hard tip Tombow pen just to do the shadows, and then I use the white gel pen that I mentioned earlier to go in and brighten up some of the highlights. And then along the top, I'm just going to really frame the title by drawing some flowers and leaves and just adding in some color. And then once that's done, I'm just going to go in and add my usual reference calendar below May. And then since there is some space there at the bottom and I wanted it to be really even and balanced, I went in and added some grass and flowers along the bottom so that the top and the bottom kind of match. So I really like the way that that turned out. It's a little bit more colorful and different than my typical style that I go for. I hope you guys like that. Let me know what you guys think. If you like my more plain and simple style, then let me know. Or if you'd like to see me try to change it up and step outside of my comfort zone, then definitely let me know in the comments. But I'm just showing you my notepad here where I write down just some notes on what I want to include in my monthly setup. The month of April has been extremely busy for me, mostly because of the wedding planning. So I've been slacking off with my bullet journal this past month. So I really want to focus on some spreads that will get me back into it and using my journal on a daily basis. So the first one to do that is this daily log. I usually do the monthly overview with a business column and a personal column, but I don't really see, at least this month, I don't see a need to separate the two. So I'm just going to do the dates and the days down the page. I just wanted to change it up and do something a little bit different, and I think because business and personal right now is just blurring together for me, and I've been busy with both, so I just kind of want to have it all together in a way that's a little bit less stressful to look at. So since I have some space there at the bottom that is free, I'm going to leave room for notes there. If there is something extra that I can't fit in the day, then I can maybe jot it down there. I do write really small, so that should be plenty of space for me. And then moving on to the next spread, I'm going to do a 1 line a day. I did include a spread like this in one of my first Plan With Me videos, and I really did like it, and especially because I want to get back into like free writing and even like story writing, I thought a line a day would be kind of inspiring for me. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to fill this up, but I think it'll be a fun one to do. I just drew some strokes with my Micron Pigma pen through the bottom of the letters to kind of look like grass is growing through it. I really like that effect. And then I'm also drawing some grass in between each of the words, just below, almost like an underline. I just really thought that that came together well, especially with the pink lettering. The black really complemented that. And then I'm just numbering the dates on the very left-hand side of the page and giving myself space to write every day. And that spread, of course, will look so much better once it starts to get filled up. And then flipping the page, this is going to be my habit tracker and my mood tracker, which I do every single month. So I just went through and made mini calendars for each individual habit. So what I'll do is I'll just color in the box of the date whenever I finish that habit for the day. You could also put an X through the date or check that off if you'd like, but I like to see the page kind of fill up with color and have those colors jumping out at me. At the bottom of the page, I am including a little quote, and I have heard this quote that happiness inspires productivity, but for me it's kind of the other way around. I always notice I'm so much happier when I'm more productive. So I just swapped that and said productivity inspires happiness. And then I just added some usual shadows and highlights and drew a couple little roses around that quote. And then I'm going to start writing out the habits one by one. So you could also do 2 separate trackers where you keep your daily habits and then your weekly habits, etc. I'm still thinking about doing that in future months, but for this month, I'm just going to throw it all on this page. And I usually like the way that that turns out. And I'm always inspired to use my trackers when I use this format. So if you're having trouble keeping up with your habits, definitely try this format if you haven't already, because I don't know, I personally love it. And then next up we have our mood tracker, and I'm just going with, once again, my usual format for this. Moving on to the next spread for now, I'm going to do a shopping list because for some reason, Kenny and I, especially for house stuff, we just have trouble keeping track of all the things that we need to get. And some of these things are going to be more for long term. For example, we're looking into getting a new grill and a lawnmower. And I just like to have things organized and written down on a page like that so we can kind of manage our money based off of this list and also prioritize which things we should buy first. So yeah, I'm just going to list them out as they come to me, and then I might use the very right hand side of the page to rank them by priority maybe, and then I'll cross them off as we purchase them. I may come up with a different way to format this if I continue to use this spread in future months, but for now this is my first time and I'm just going to kind of keep it simple. Moving on to the next spread, I'm doing a very different sort of title for this just to change things up. I want to keep track of my ideas because I've had tons of ideas lately for the business. Plus, I've been getting some requests to expand a little bit in the business, so I want to keep track of that stuff. And then book ideas I also have that I want to write down in here. So just a page where I can keep track of all of that. And once I fill up some of the spread, I think I'm going to use my Zebra Mildliner pens to color code them by highlighting, just so everything doesn't get too jumbled up. So if it's related to my business, maybe I'll color it a certain color, versus house projects versus stories, I can come up with a key at the bottom of this page. This month, since I haven't done it in a while, I thought I would show you my current favorite weekly spread, and I'll just set up the first week here, and I plan to use the same exact spread for the following weeks. So I just draw a mini reference calendar in the upper left hand corner, and then on the top left page I make room for a to-do list, and on the top right page I write down the highlights of the week. I like to use the left page for meetings, events, plans, etc., and then the right page I like to write down whatever's happening in more detail. And then that is the last spread. So we did keep it pretty simple, but focused a little bit more on the theme, and then left tons of room to write. And the main reason is because I do love to write, and I really think these spreads will help to encourage me to use my journal more and more. So let me know what your favorite spread is from this video, and also what spreads you'll be incorporating in your own bullet journal for the month. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you'll consider subscribing for more videos like this. I do make a lot of bullet journal videos on my channel, so yeah, definitely stick around, and I'll see you guys in my next video.